Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. जय जगन्नाथ, जय जगन्नाथ, जय बलदेव, जय सुभद्रा. जगन्नाथ, जय जगन्नाथ, जय बलदेव, जय सुभद्रा. जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन बतगामी, नयन बतगामी भवतु मे. जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन बतगामी. जय गिरि गोवर्धन, गिरि गोवर्धन, गिरि गोवर्धन, जय गिरि गोवर्धन. जय गिरि गोवर्धन, गिरि गोवर्धन, गिरि गोवर्धन, जय गिरि गोवर्धन. जय नित्यानंद राम, नित्यानंद राम, नित्यानंद राम, जय नित्यानंद राम. नित्यानंद राम, नित्यानंद राम, जय नित्यानंद. जय प्रभुपदा, 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 जय प्रभुपदा. पदा प्रभुपदा. जय राधा दामोदर, राधा दामोदर, राधा दामोदर, जय राधा दामोदर. दामोदर, राधा दामोदर, राधा दामोदर, जय राधा दामोदर. जय प्रभुपदा, जय प्रभुपदा, प्रभुपदा, जय प्रभुपदा. जय जय प्रभुपाद, 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 जय प्रभुपाद, प्रभुपाद. जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की, यशोदा धमधार की, गिरिराज गोवर्धन की, निठाय गौर सुंदर की, श्री पंचतत्व की, लॉर्ड नृसिंहदेव भगवान की, वंडरफुल गुरु परंपरा की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. ऑल योर वंडरफुल डिवोटीज की जय. उपधाया कृष्ण प्रस्थाया भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदन्ता स्वामी नामिने Shnupadhaya, everyone chant. Prastaya bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Mate Bhakti Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pasatade Setarine Deve Gauravani Pracharine Shesha Sunyavadi Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pasatade Setarine Saraswati Deve Pracharine Shesha Sunyavadi Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Krishna Everyone chant loud. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसदि गौर भक्तवृंद चैतन्य नित्यानंद अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसदि हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण हरे हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Jaya Jagannath Swami, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra, Jagannath, Jaya Jagannath. Jaya Jagannath Swami, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra. Jagannath Swami Nayan Patagami, Nayan Patagami Pavatu me. Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Balaram, Balaram. Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram. Jaya Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan. Jaya Radha Damodar, Radha Damodar, Radha Damodar, Jaya Radha Damodar. Jaya Radha Damodar, Radha Damodar, Radha Damodar, Jaya Radha Damodar, Radha Damodar, Radha Damodar. Jaya Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram, Jaya Nityananda Ram. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की, यशोदा धमधार की, गिरिराज गोवर्धन की, और नृसिंहदेव भगवान की, श्री पंचतत्व की, और गुरु परंपरा की, शिला प्रभुपाद की जय। Hare Krishna. So thank you all for coming today on this first night of Kartik. We're very blessed. His Grace Jagannath Puri will be taking us through better than bombs or bigger than bombs. I forget what the title is actually. Like it is more powerful than bombs actually. So he's going to be taking us through that. So Yashoda Damodar has made their appearance on the altar for the next month. And we'll be all bathing in this mercy that Srila Prabhupada has bestowed upon us because of introducing us to this month of Kartik. And this is probably the most famous month for devotees all over the world.
and we'd like to encourage you to participate, to serve, and to do whatever you can to get the mercy of the Lordships actually. Hare Krishna. So Jagannath Puri asked me to sing Jai Radha Madhava for him, and then he will give class after that actually. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari 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 Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Yasodanandana Brajajana Randana Yasodanandana Yasodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yasodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Jamuna Thira Vanachari Jamuna Thira Vanachari Jamuna Thira Vanachari Jamuna Thira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Yasodanandana Brajajana Ranjana 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 Jamuna Thira Vanachari Jamuna Thira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Yasodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yasodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Jamuna Thira Vanachari Jamuna Thira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Jaya Radha Madhav Radha Madhav Radha Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Shri Shri Radha Madhava ki, Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani ki, Shri Shri Nitai Gaur Sundar ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Nitai Gaur Pramanande. So one thing I want to tell you before we start, today is Jagannath Pandit Prabhu's appearance day actually.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So, very warm welcome to all of you to this special Kartik Purnima program. How is everybody doing? Good? Hare Krishna. You know, Prabhupada said, like in Vedic times, when you were asked, how are you doing, or how are you? It meant, how are you doing spiritually? Because the you is referring to the spirit soul, not referring to the body. But unfortunately, in today's times, when we ask people, how are you or how are you doing? They tell us everything about their life relevant to their body. Isn't that true? Oh, you know, my joints are paining, or I had this problem, I had that difficulty, so on and so on. So we should get in the habit of asking each other. In fact, one devotee this week, almost like it's complained to me. Nobody asked me, how am I doing spiritually? So we should just get in the habit. Whenever we address devotees and we ask them, how are you doing spiritually? Until it becomes second nature for us to understand that how are you means how are we spiritually. And if we're having any difficulties, we should just speak to the devotee. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Today's class, the contemplation thereof, has to have some relevance to this month of Kartik, obviously. And it also has to enthuse, enliven, and facilitate our spiritual progress during this month and beyond. So this topic, more powerful than bombs. People, you've noted the topic, right? More powerful than bombs, a Kartik meditation. That's the topic for our focused attention for this evening. And it's going to cover just one point. The entire presentation will cover one point. If we apply these teachings from our acharyas, especially every morning remind ourselves what it is, and every evening during this month of Kartik, before we take rest, we can do a self-audit and see how this worked for us during the day. what went right and what didn't go so right. And in this way, as we become more and more aware of this point, we will be able to make the changes that are necessary so that we can move in the right direction. Is that okay? So we have selected for today's discussion to speak from Bhagavad Gita, and let us say that Srila Prabhupada, in one purport, which is only a paragraph long, he has provided what all the textbooks of psychology have failed to do. All the textbooks in the entire world. And Prabhupada, in this one paragraph purport, gives us the answer to any and every mental problem that we may have. So much so that from here and after, if we apply this, we should never again experience any mental issues. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So today we're going to speak from chapter 6 of Bhagavad Gita. Chapter 6 is entitled Dhyana Yoga. Interestingly, Prabhupada has only retained 3 chapters, the original Sanskrit names, for 3 chapters in Bhagavad Gita. And the rest of the 15 chapters, he has ensured that they have English names. And these chapters are the 3rd chapter, which is called Karma Yoga. The 5th chapter is Karma Yoga, Action in Krishna Consciousness. And the 6th chapter, Dhyana Yoga. Dhyan is a Sanskrit word that means focused concentration, meditation. Very focused, very specific word. And yoga, of course, means to connect with the Supreme Lord. This chapter specifically deals with the subject matter of how to think. Every one of us think, right? And most of us think that we know how to think. But thinking is a specific science. Just like we are born with the ability to speak. But that doesn't mean necessarily that all of us can speak properly or sing properly. We have that ability. In the same way, we have the intrinsic ability to think, but one has to be trained up on how to think. So this is the 6th chapter, dealing with that subject matter. And text number 35. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Asamsayam Mahabaho Mano Durnigraham Chalam Abhya Ashena Tu Konteya Vairagyena Cha Griyate. Interestingly, it starts with Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Who is saying that? Who says it's Shri Bhagavan Uvacha? Who is speaking? Sanjaya. Excellent. Remember, Sanjaya is speaking to Dhritarashtra. Sanjaya is a devotee, disciple of Srila Vyasadeva, correct? Right? So now, the devotee is speaking to the non-devotee, representing the vast majority of foolish and demonic people that's all around. And a lot of that may even pertain to us. And he's telling Dhritarashtra, significantly, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. That means, hey, listen up. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is speaking. This is what he says. Okay? The translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Lord Krishna said, O mighty armed son of Kunti, it is undoubtedly very difficult to curb the restless mind. But it is possible by suitable practice and by detachment. Please repeat the purport after me. Lord Krishna said, O mighty armed son of Kunti, it is undoubtedly very difficult to curb the restless mind, but it is possible by suitable practice and by detachment. The purport. This purport is mind-blowing. It's just one paragraph, and like I said, it covers the entire subject matter of the whole of psychology. Imagine that. The difficulty of controlling the obstinate mind. Obstinate means stubborn, right? As expressed by Arjuna, is accepted by the personality of Godhead. But at the same time, he, meaning Supreme Lord, suggests that by practice and detachment it is possible. What is that practice? In the present age, no one can achieve the strict rules and regulations of placing oneself in a sacred place, focusing the mind on the supersoul, restraining the senses and mind, observing celibacy, remaining alone, etc. By the practice of Krishna consciousness, however, one engages in 9 types of devotional service to the Lord. The first and foremost of such devotional engagements is hearing about Krishna. This is a very powerful transcendental method for purging the mind of all misgivings. Purging means to get rid of. The more one hears about Krishna, the more one becomes enlightened and detached from everything that draws the mind away from Krishna. By detaching the mind from activities not devoted to the Lord, one can very easily learn vairagya. Vairagya means detachment from matter and engagement of the mind in spirit. Impersonal spiritual detachment is more difficult than attaching the mind to the activities of Krishna. This is practical because by hearing about Krishna, one becomes automatically attached to the Supreme Spirit. This attachment is called Paresha Anubhav, spiritual satisfaction. It is just like the feeling of satisfaction a hungry man has for every morsel of food he eats. The more one eats while hungry, the more one feels satisfaction and strength. Similarly, by discharge of devotional service, one feels transcendental satisfaction as the mind becomes detached from material objectives. It is something like curing a disease by expert treatment and appropriate diet. Hearing of the transcendental activities of Lord Krishna is therefore expert treatment for the mad mind. And eating the foodstuff offered to Krishna is the appropriate diet for the suffering patient. This treatment is the process of Krishna consciousness. Isn't it beautiful? The translation again. Lord Sri Krishna said, O mighty armed son of Kunti, it is undoubtedly very difficult to curb the restless mind, but it is possible by suitable practice and by detachment. Om Jnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shrakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jaina Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manubhistam Stapitam Jana Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubha Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivashadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So you see, this is a response of Krishna to Arjuna. Arjuna in the previous verse quotes and says that famous verse, which is Chanchala Himana Krishna, where he says, Krishna, this mind is so difficult, it's so restless. In fact, the way the way Arjuna frames it, he says, it is easier to control the wind than it is to control the mind. Now, what that means? The wind is impossible to control. Have you seen any human being control the wind? No. But Arjuna is saying it's easier to control that which is impossible. So he says to Krishna, Krishna, you're asking me to do something that's impossible. Actually, it's asking me to do something which is not just impossible, but is more than impossible. Because it's easier to control the wind, which no human can do. And see Krishna's beautiful response to Arjuna. Right? Krishna is acknowledging Arjuna's thought processes. Because Arjuna didn't use the word impossible. He simply said it is more difficult to control than it is to control the wind. So to control the mind is more difficult than to control the wind. Right? You got that? So, and then in Krishna's response in the shloka, Krishna does not use the word impossible. But he acknowledges Arjuna's thought processes. And he says, O mighty armed son of Kunti, it is indeed very difficult. I agree with you. It's difficult to curb this. But he never says impossible. But with detachment and proper practice, it is possible. Very interestingly. And in the whole of Bhagavad Gita, you'll note the beautiful use of how personalities are addressed. In this place, you see Krishna is addressing Arjuna as what? Mahabhaho and Konteya. 2 words he used. Mahabhaho means, O mighty armed one. Because Arjuna is carrying sophisticated weapons. And he's not simply carrying them for show. He has been trained in its usage. He is an expert in those weapons. So multiple weapons he has in his arsenal. And therefore Krishna is saying, O mighty armed Arjuna, that you are so, and the innuendo in this use of that word, Mahabaho, is that Krishna is saying, oh, you have mastered all these very difficult to master weapons, but here you're saying it's impossible? But you have done something extraordinary already, just by use of the word Mahabaho. And then he's addressed as, O son of Kunti, or Kunteya. Why? Why is not calling him Arjuna? It's nice. So when you read Bhagavad Gita, look for these things and try to gauge the sweetness, the nectar that's in it. And here it's addressed as Kunteya, the son of Kunti, because your mother has mastered the art of mind control. She is your shining display in front of your very eyes of how she has her senses under control, despite going through so many difficulties. So, Krishna is in his own way telling Arjuna that, not impossible. Why are you saying it's impossible? Okay, now I'll tell you something else that's quite significant. You may recall that Srila Prabhupada says that Arjuna is a pure devotee of the Lord. You may recall that, right? And Arjuna is simply playing the part of a conditioned soul for our benefit. Right. So now let's go back this one shloka. What it says, the first line is, Chanchalahi mana Krishna. So, although Arjuna is saying in that verse, it is impossible to control the mind because the mind is obstinate, it is turbulent, it is restless, and it is very strong. So, it's attracting us in all different directions. But Arjuna is saying, Chanchalahi mana Krishna. Krishna means the all-attractive personality. You get it? He's saying, he's addressing Krishna as the all-attractive personality, but my attractions are elsewhere. So Arjuna inadvertently cannot hide that he is a pure devotee of the Lord. Because this is an oxymoron, right? That means it's saying opposite things. But it's for our benefit. So if you read carefully, you'll see how the nectar flows. All right. So, in this purport, Srila Prabhupada is spot on. He's not only on the same page with that is literally because it's the purport to the shloka, but figuratively, he is so much in tune with Krishna. Because Krishna says that it's difficult, I understand and I accept it's difficult, but it's possible through what? Suitable practice and, second word, detachment, right? So this is what Krishna is saying. So Prabhupada starts by saying, yes, Krishna says this, but then he starts to explain what is that suitable practice, what is that detachment. He gives us insight into what Krishna is simply named. He just said through suitable practice. How do we know what that is? And therefore, Prabhupada's glory is in his purports. So beautiful. The Katha Upanishad gives a wonderful analogy of how to understand the different components of the body, their interrelationships with each other, and with the soul. And in this analogy that's given, it's that of a chariot. So think of a chariot, right? You've seen Arjuna's chariot and so on. Just think of a chariot. And a chariot which is pulled by 5 horses. Each of those 5 horses are your senses. The eyes, the nose, the mouth, the ears, and the sense of touch. These are the 5 senses. And these horses are bridled and they're coupled, and to control the horses you have reins. You see, Krishna took up the reins for Arjuna, right? But in this example, it's not talking so much about that chariot, because that chariot only had 4 horses. But this is the example that's given. So the reins that control the horses, that steers the horses, is the mind. The mind is the reins. So you can imagine a chariot that's going down on the mountainside, and it's traveling at speed by these horses which are completely uncontrolled. What's going to happen? It's an accident waiting to happen. It's not if, it's sure to happen. It's a matter of when. Right? And it's just going to go over the cliff. And then what? Everything is finished. So this unbridled horses, if the senses are not reined in, to use the same word, then the result is chaos. Now, to control the mind, which are the reins, you need something, a person that controls it, right? Like Krishna is the chariot driver of Arjuna. And in Bhagavad Gita, this is sometimes the mind is referred to as the reins or the driving instrument. Sometimes, but it's the same thing. And then Arjuna, and then the personality that holds the reins is the intelligence. So our intelligence is meant to be used to control the mind. And the mind then got the senses in check. So the intelligence is coming from Bhagavad Gita. The intelligence is coming from Lord Krishna when he's saying, this is how we apply our intelligence. It says, suitable practice and detachment. And the living entity is simply a passenger on the chariot. That's all. The living entity is just a passenger, and he is just going wherever the chariot is going. So if it's not directed properly, this chariot is going to go down the cliff. Okay? Dr. Nitai Sevani Mataji, you must have heard of her, right? She's a very prominent preacher. She gives a hilarious example. And I'm relating it today because it's also highly instructive. She says, there was once a female patient who complained of some strange sensations in the stomach, in the abdomen. And this patient explained it as like frogs are jumping inside. So she was examined carefully by the first doctor, who reassured her that, no, you don't have frogs in your abdomen. Definitely not. But she was unsatisfied with this response, so she went to the second doctor, who told her a similar thing, and she went to about 3 or 4 other doctors, but each one told her, no, you don't have. This is not true. And finally she came to, I think, the 6th or 7th doctor, who listened to her carefully And he was a little savvy, actually. But he said, yes, I've checked you out. I can see there are frogs in your abdomen. And she said, oh, finally. Doctor, you are God sent. You are an angel. You can't imagine. So many people did not believe me. Thank you, doctor. And now she felt so relieved and comforted. And this doctor said, okay, we'll solve your problem. So tomorrow we'll operate and take the frogs out. She said, wonderful, I'm so happy. This is fantastic news. So the next day, the doctor made a tiny incision, superficial incision on the abdomen and stitched that superficial incision and got the nurses to bring some frogs from the nearby pond. And when she came out of the anesthetic, while she's still in the theater, said, there's the frogs, we took them out. She said, wow, thank you. I'm ever so grateful. I can't imagine. Nobody believed me. Thank you, doctor. And for 1 week, she was perfect. And then the next week, she started again. Doctor, there's something in my abdomen. It's like frogs. The frogs are in my abdomen. And the doctor said, but I took them out. She says, no, you left the eggs behind. So this is the obstinacy of the mind. The mind is very strong. The mind is stubborn. It believes what it wants to believe. No amount of wise counsel can change it if you're unwilling to listen. So this is a crazy story of the doctor and the frog. So we must be careful when we become faulty and when we go off the rails or when we have some of those crazy moments in our lives. We must remember this story. Are we like this, Mataji? Are we this? Frogs in our stomach? His Holiness Bhakti Dhir Damodar Swami. Anybody heard of him? He's a disciple of His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami, sannyas disciple and an initiating spiritual master. Powerful preacher, powerful personality. And he said that once he did a study amongst the patients at Bhakti Vedanta Hospital. Now, those of you all who know that hospital in Mumbai will know that the vast majority of patients at that hospital are devotees, right? Vast majority are devotee patients. So he did the study and he found that more than 85% of those patients had symptoms suggestive of depression. Now, I was startled by this. You don't expect such a high number, right? You should have some, okay, because devotees are at different levels of purity, but such a high number. He also said something else. He said the vast majority of devotees in ISKCON are impersonalists. That's also crazy. And he put that number at over 80%. Crazy, right? Something is wrong somewhere. If these are the stats that are coming and being quoted by our illustrious Swami. So, Srila Prabhupada in this purport is making a couple points. The first point we said is that if the senses are uncontrolled, it's going to result in mayhem in your life. Your life is going to be all over. And what are the misgivings of the mind? There are 6. 6 misgivings of the mind. What are they? Yes, yes. And last one? Madness. Matsarya. Right, you got it? Lust, anger, greed. The gateways to hell, Bhagavad Gita says. Those first 3. Hatred, envy. Illusion means you're in ignorance. You don't know what's what. You don't know who you are, you don't know what you're meant to do, where you are, all these things. It's crazy. And all this results in madness. So, when the mind is uncontrolled, the misgivings are present and they manifest more and more. Srila Prabhupada says, the more you try to satisfy your senses, the more one becomes dissatisfied. This is a nice affirmation for today. The more remember this is another thing. When you get instructions in the Bhagavad Gita, when Prabhupada says something like that, the more one tries to satisfy the senses, the more I become dissatisfied. So when you hear those things, the more one becomes dissatisfied, you personalize it. So Prabhupada is talking to me. The more I try, Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani ki, Shri Nitai Gaur Sundar ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. So how we'll say it now? The more I try to satisfy my senses, the more I will become dissatisfied. Right? You got it? So when Prabhupada is talking, it doesn't mean he's talking to everyone but you. It's the other way around. He's talking to you only. He's not talking to everyone else. When you read Bhagavad Gita, it's being addressed to you. So this statement is there. So then in this purport, Prabhupada says something else also, where to serve, to become, because he gives the definition of detachment, vairagya, to mean that detached from material activities and focused attention on the spirit. So if one focuses on the impersonal spiritual nature of Krishna, what happens? He said it's very difficult. It's very hard to do. And you don't get the right result. Rather, hear about Krishna, and by hearing about Krishna, one becomes attached to Krishna. That's in this purport. Okay, so now that's the second scenario. The first is unbridled senses, that's uncontrolled. The second scenario is you're doing the right thing, but you're focusing on the impersonal aspect of Krishna. What's impersonal? What we mean by impersonal? That where you think God doesn't have a form, where you think everything is God, all is one. When you think that God is light or God is nothing, everything eventually will end up with something like that, you know. So there's no personality behind everything. That's what we mean when we say when you meditate on the impersonal feature of God. Prabhupada says that is also not going to give you the desired result, and it's a harder process. Now, dear devotees, one may pose the question, what is the scenario if I do a little of both? Let's say I do some devotional service, I engage my mind in serving Krishna, and at the same time, I have a couple, attachments, material attachments. I have after all, I have some duties in my life, and after all, I want to be balanced in my life. I have lead a balanced life. I don't want to be too fanatical and so on. So what is the result of that? What will happen? So Prabhupada gives the answer. It's also in Bhagavad Gita. Prabhupada says, it is like trying to ignite a wood whilst simultaneously pouring water on it. So you think it works? Doesn't work. Not a chance. So there isn't any room now to have one leg in the bush and one leg on the other side. And when you see that many of us, our spiritual lives are either stagnant or moving along very slowly. For years and years, we may be stuck in one spot. And we think, oh no, we've been doing so many things, but why are we not making like tangible progress? It's simply because of this fact. Got it, Prabhu? Yeah. No, next to you. Yes, correct, 100%. We're maintaining some material attachments. Right? So you cannot do both. It's mutually exclusive. You know the 10th offense to the holy name is saying the same thing. But this is more succinctly put. That it's like igniting a wood while simultaneously pouring water on it. Another impossibility. Okay, and then Prabhupada gives the caveat, and he says that focusing all the senses, not just one sense, but all the senses towards Krishna is just like when a hungry person starts to eat. With each tiny morsel of food that he puts in his mouth, he feels immense satisfaction. And his strength increases with each subsequent bite. So this is what happens if we hear about Krishna. Just hearing about Krishna, this is the result. Kartik is this beautiful time when we are going to get unlimited opportunities to hear about Krishna. Of course, that is there all the time that we have opportunity. But here, during this time, this month, every day is a festival. And every day there's so many wonderful things happening. Krishna's pastimes, Krishna's playground is being revealed to us during Kartik. So we have to avail ourselves of this opportunity to hear about Krishna, and not to maintain any attachments to this material world or anything connected to this material world. If every morning we can tell ourselves this, I want today focus exclusively on serving Krishna throughout the day. And everything we do has to somehow or other be connected with Krishna. And in the evening, before we take rest, we assess ourselves, say, hey, I did that. I went and bought a cake from this shop, but that's not prasad. So I'm not following the prescription. The medicine, Prabhupada says, is to hear, and the diet is Krishna prasad. That's a cure. So we can do that assessment every day and gradually use our intelligence to, one, suitable practice, which means following those 9 processes Prabhupada is explaining here in the same purport. The culmination of these 9 processes is to chant the holy name. And secondly, to become detached from all those things connected with the material world. In Sri Damodar Leela, we have at the end that Mother Yashoda binds Krishna with the ropes of love. Right? In the material world, we have something very similar going on, where the living entity is bound by Maya Devi with the ropes of lust. And to untie those very hard knots, you know, when you tie a rope, you make knots, knots, knots. And then if it's tied very tight, it's very hard. You can't even undo it, right? You have to cut it with the sword of knowledge. But where are you going to get that knowledge? That knowledge comes from the devotees. And therefore, association of devotees is so important. When we serve devotees, when we take that association, it is to get this knowledge that cuts these hard knots that binds the living entity to this world. Devotees are naturally very benevolent. They're going out door to door. And especially during this month of Kartik, devotees are making an extraordinary effort to try to bring as many people back to Lord Chaitanya as possible. So there's programs every day. There's Namahatas, there's hall programs, there is house programs, there are Harinams taking place, all with the explicit purpose of giving out the mercy. But amidst all these ancillary activities, the core focus for all of us should be to give everyone Prabhupada. Because without these books, we are just simply a fanatical movement with fanatical belief systems. Can you imagine ISKCON without books? What's knowledge? Books are the basis. So therefore, on the first hand, we have to hear about Krishna. You'll hear about Krishna specifically from the books. Even though you may hear classes, you may hear lectures, you may hear sannyasis as gurus speaking, but where they're speaking from? They're speaking from these books. Specifically Bhagavad Gita. In the purport to text 16 of chapter 17 in Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada is also explaining there that one, in order to engage the mind properly and protect the mind from getting distracted or attracted to Maya, one should always think, one should constantly think of doing good for others. Constantly think of doing good for others. And the ultimate work of compassion, the ultimate good for others is to bring them to the lotus feet of the Lord. But through introducing them to Prabhupada, introduce them to Prabhupada, give them a book, expose them to the gems that's in this book. Help them. In this way, our meditation, our practice, and our spiritual advancement during this month of Kartik and beyond is assured. So, I hope, dear devotees, you understand the topic. More powerful than bombs, our Kartik meditation is transcendental knowledge. Because transcendental knowledge empowers us to use our intelligence to do and make the right choices as how to advance in this purport. It's clear. Somehow or the other, as painful as it may seem to us now, we have to cut off all our material attachments, no matter what they may be. That's the essence. And if you don't do that, there is no hope. There is no hope. We have to purify our lives to that extent where we only develop spiritual attachments. So transform all your attachments into spiritual attachments. Your attachment for your family, see them as devotees. Then it's spiritual. Your attachment to your possessions, see them as Krishna's. Your house belongs to Krishna, it's not your house. Install the deities of Krishna in the house and worship the deity. Offer your house to him and say, my Lord, you are in charge. This is your place. I am simply a caretaker. And in this way, we can transform everything in our lives to become spiritual. We can spiritualize every aspect of our lives. So, dear devotees, we are all in this work in progress situation. We sincerely pray and hope that this Kartik is a defining moment in your spiritual life, and that you'll go back and read this purport. That's the beauty about these books, because the reference is there. It's not my imagination or somebody's smart speculation. It is in the purport of chapter 6, text number 35, and that you would make rapid spiritual advancement. You would also, not devoted by nature, are magnanimous. So they want to not go back home alone. They want to take everybody back home. And therefore you take this message out to everyone that you encounter. Thank you very much. Wish you a blessed Kartik. Hare Krishna. Is the time for any questions or comments? If there is, Satya Prabhu? Okay. Who untied Krishna in the Damodar pastime? Who untied Krishna in the Damodar pastime? Not Yashoda. Who is it? Who? Not very convincing. Huh? Looks like most people not. Okay, we know Prabhu knows. It's Nanda Maharaj. Right? Nanda Maharaj, he untied Krishna at the end. So Nanda Maharaj is representing. So when you are tied by your mother, you got no hope. Who's going to untie you? Your father will untie you. And the significance of this is that the father is the spiritual masters, the acharyas. So we are bound by the ropes in this material world, but to become freed, we need the mercy of our acharyas. And our acharyas have given their blessings in this Guru Parampara that Srila Prabhupada is so expertly representing and part of, and we have direct access to all of them through their writings and in the purports of Srila Prabhupada. So that's a nice meditation. I'll tell you one more thing, then I will stop, because one more unusual aspect of the Damodar Leela. There is one acharya who said, there is nothing wondrous about the ropes being unable to tie Krishna. Why are you surprised? Why are you surprised when Mother Yashoda, even though she had access to miles and miles or kilometers and kilometers of ropes, that she was unable to tie Krishna? Why? There's nothing to be surprised about. This Acharya's name is Harisuri. That's his name. And if you look at our deities here of Damodar, Yashoda Damodar here, and there are many other pictures that when Krishna is being tied, you'll see Krishna is looking at the rope. Have you noticed that? Namaste stu dhamne, spuradipti dhamne. Why? Why Krishna is looking at the rope? Okay, Prabhuji, you tell me. What happens if the Supreme Personality of Godhead glances at anyone? Will that person be liberated or not? What happens? If the Supreme Personality glances at someone, will that person get liberation or won't get liberation? 100%. Anyone the Lord glances at is immediately liberated. So, when Damodar is glancing at the rope, do you think the rope is liberated, a liberated personality or a bound personality? Liberated, of course. Now, Matajis, how can a liberated person bind somebody when the natural propensity of the liberated personalities of this world, of this universe, is to liberate others? Personalities who are liberated do not bind anyone. When they come into contact with other people, they are liberating them. They come to liberate us. So now, when Krishna is glancing at the rope and the rope is liberated, he is powerless to bind Krishna. No matter how happy, God no, can't do it. This is what Harisuri Prabhu says. Can't do it. So Krishna cannot be bound by any rope. Krishna can only be bound by love. These pastimes of the Lord, especially the Damodar pastime, is demonstrating the power of a devotee's love. And it shows how the Supreme Personality of Godhead, only in Vrindavan, shows that he is Bhakta Vatsalya to the extent that he is. Therefore, no person in history has the same good fortune as Mother Yashoda. Because Krishna takes birth from her womb. Nobody had that fortune, nobody. And Krishna accepted her as mother, and she accepts Krishna as her child. The feature where God is the supreme person is no longer significant in that relationship. So it's demonstrating the power of that love. Imagine that. Beyond just loving God. So this Vrindavan Leela gives us, this Damodar month, especially this Damodar Leela, gives us insight into the loving affairs of Krishna with his most intimate devotees. So that's another beautiful meditation. It's unlimited, actually. Damodar Leela itself is unlimited. Forget about all the other Leelas that are happening. But it's so beautiful. Thank you for asking that question. Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna. We'll stop here. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Kartik Maha Mahotsav ki, Sharad Purnima ki, Gaur Bhakti Vrindi ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande.
His Grace Jagannath Pandit Prabhu ki. So before Pandit runs away from us, we have a small gift for him actually. It's not for you, you can't eat it, you have to cut it actually. Well, since it's your appearance day, we thought we can get you to cut a cake actually. We'll chant Hare Krishna for a little while you do that. And then Braj Kishore Prabhu and Tarun Baladev Prabhu, we expect you to make your way up here. I just wonder, while Jagannath Pandit Prabhu is getting his things together, I just want to mention these two devotees. We've been distributing books for a long time, but we never had, well, we've had so many devotees that have come and helped us in many ways, but Tarun Baladev Prabhu and Braj Kishore Prabhu have taken on this book service very diligently actually. So in the last few months, they've signed over 20 Back to Godhead subscriptions just because they're really enthusiastic to do this. And in the Bhadra Purnima campaign, we distributed 16 Bhagavatam sets like it is, which they did. And they did 5 more after that as well, actually. Like it. So they will now make some small presentation about what they want you to do going forward. And we would appreciate if you would participate, actually. So let's just chant Hare Krishna for Jagannath Pandit Prabhu, actually. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. For he is a jolly good devotee, for he is a jolly good devotee, for he is a jolly good devotee. And so say all of us, and so say all of us, for he is a jolly good devotee, for he is a jolly good devotee, for he is a jolly good devotee. And so say all of us. Nitai Gaur! No prasad for you all. Nitai Gaur! Thank you. Braj Kishore Prabhu, we're waiting for you and Taran Baladev Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So, thank you, Jagannath Prabhu, for the amazing class, as you've always done. And it's such a pleasure to listen to you all the time. Dear devotees, we did make a presentation last weekend, and we've been talking about book distribution, and His Grace Prabhanu Prabhu has also mentioned that Srila Prabhupada's most important instruction was give out the books, because through the books we're actually giving out Srila Prabhupada and we're giving out Krishna. So in my presentation last week, or rather in the presentation, we mentioned different services that you could do. But the focus today is obviously trying to get you to give out books to people, and more so trying to get new devotees to come to Krishna lotus feet and to Srila Prabhupada. So both the speakers this afternoon already alluded to the fact that we should try to bring as many new people as possible to ISKCON, and whatever effort that you make in this period is multiplied 1,000 times, and I mentioned that in the presentation last week. So the appeal then is for you to take books. We have made gift packs for you, which you will find at the back. So they range from as little as 100 Rand a pack, and then it goes up to 150 Rand a pack, and then we've got a 200 Rand pack, a 500 Rand pack, and then of course there is a 1,000 Rand pack as well. The cost of the books are included in the pack so that there isn't a profit margin as such. The whole idea is to give out the literature and encourage new people to come in. So many devotees often say, but I have the books. Like myself, we also have the books, but the thing is, we want to encourage you to go out and give the books to somebody else and let them share in that good mercy and the good fortune that you have. The fact that you've come into ISKCON and that we've all come into ISKCON now, we attribute that to Srila Prabhupada and all the other Vaishnavas, and we want to give that same good gift out to somebody else. So we're encouraging you to please help us, and like we've made these kind of appeals in the past, and help yourself, because just by engaging in devotional service in this period, especially in this period of Kartik, you will be benefiting so much, and you will be giving that mercy out to others. So just while I was sitting in the back, one of the devotees sent me a message, and I told him about the different packs that we have, and he said, okay, I'll take 5 of the 1,000 Rand packs. So we've already got somebody who's keen on taking 5 of those 1,000 Rand packs, so that's already gone. So many people and so many devotees will come forward. So our appeal is, as you, just before we get into the lamp Damodar program, which is going to follow very nicely, and it's very, very sweet, I think your pledge would be to take some set of books and give it out. And it's easy, some practical hints that we can share from book distribution, being engaged in it for such a long time. We normally keep books in your car, and sometimes you just stop at a robot. I know it's not the best thing to do in South Africa, but Krishna will protect you. And you see somebody who's really struggling, and you have one of those books, just give it to that person. You go to functions, you're going to have Christmas coming up and a whole lot of other things. This part of the year, people are moving jobs, and at work situations, you find that you need to buy gifts. The books are so beautifully packed, you will see them down there, and you can just give out a pack to somebody. And in that way, you're making progress. So please, on your way, we'll give you some time now to come and look at the selection at the back there. We also have some incentives for you. For the 500 Rand pack, we'll give you the latest 2024 calendar with amazing pictures of the temple deities on it. And so you get to see what 2024 looks like. So that's also there for you. And Taruna Baladev Prabhu wants to just brief you on the BTG, because he has some nice incentives as well.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So for BTG, we're trying to encourage everybody to take, or encourage the public to take more BTG subscriptions. It's very hard, we do acknowledge that in this day and age, but there are people who understand the value of subscribing to a spiritual organization, and we'd like you all to encourage them to take a subscription for BTG. Now BTG is taking a step forward back to Godhead, literally for yourself and the person who is subscribing to back to Godhead. So this year we have various, let's call it packages, that we would like you to encourage people to take. There are 50 Rand donations to the temple. There are 100 Rand donations to the temple, 1,000 Rand donations to the temple. And for those of you, or those devotees who may subscribe for 1,000 Rand a month, that person could be on a plane to Vrindavan, to India. So we encouraging you, it's not impossible. You just have to be enthusiastic about this service and encourage people about the value of supporting the temple, supporting Krishna consciousness, supporting Srila Prabhupada. So we would like all of you, together with the enthusiasm of distributing books, to also sign up back to Godhead. We can, if you need assistance, as Vraj Prabhu says, we do have a little experience that we can help you with. So please come forward. We will try to show you how you can subscribe members to our Srila Prabhupada's beloved ISKCON. And I am sure Srila Prabhupada would be very proud and happy that you have now engaged one more soul into Krishna consciousness. So we encourage you to come forward and make a pledge to do this service for Srila Prabhupada. Thank you.
Anyway, devotees, I live in Birlam, next to the mosque. And I got all the Muslims, foreigners, the Indians are chanting Hare Krishna. To go into the mosque, they chant Hare Krishna. To come out of the mosque, they're chanting Hare Krishna. I said to them, well, are doing well. Krishna is God for everybody.
Done. So they've been very kind. These devotees are real gentlemen. You can see that actually. Unfortunately, I'm not like that actually. So how many of you want to take book packs actually? Let's get a little bit serious about this actually. I can see one Mataji put a hand up over there. I can't see who that is. Can't see. Oh, my sister that actually. Shamin. Anyone else? How much? What pack? 1,000 rand for Charan Renu Mataji. Thank you. And then, Shamin? 1,000 rand as well, actually. So we've got 2 already going, actually, like that. Anyone else? The Matajis are winning here. Raj Vilasin. 1,000 rand for Vilasini Mataji on that side. 3 to the Matajis, 0 to the Prabhus, eh? Prabhus, you're going to the Matajis beat you. Aish. Prabhupada was saying about the hand-picked husbands, actually. I can see why, actually. Come on, Prabhu. Something, anything. 100 rand, 200 rand, 500 rand, 1,000 rand. Can't be that bad. Mataji, please show them again how you do this. Anybody else? Mataji? 1,000 rand, Mataji. I understand this side, Mataji is the more enthusiastic, actually. Maybe it'll rub off on me too, actually. Anyone else? Come. Huh? She's speaking about another subject matter. I'll come there just now. Kartik? Chai. So now we got one small boy leading the way for all the grown-up people, actually. Come, Prabhu. 200 rand, 300 rand, 500 rand. Virachandra Prabhu, come on. How much? 1,000 rand for Virachandra Prabhu. Ravidinanan Prabhu is sitting quietly next to him. You have to say something. 1,000 rand. Okay. Mukunda Prabhu? 1,000 rand. Kerana Prabhu? 1,000 rand. Thank you, Prabhu. Raj Prabhu? 1,000 rand. Thank you. Bimal, you can't let your wife beat you. This is ridiculous, actually, you know. You pay. No, you won't pay. She'll pay. I know she'll sell the books, actually. So we give you 1,000 rand too. Okay. You okay with that, Chamin? Make him work a little bit. Bhagavan. Your name Bhagavan. You have to sell some books, you know. 1,000 rand. Thank you. Damodar Gopal? There's a month of Damodar. You can't say no. 1,000 rand. Thank you. Who else? Any other brave people, actually? Sankrishna Prabhu? You're sustaining the whole universe, you know, like that. It's 1,000 and not hard, actually. Inspire the rest of them for 1,000 rand. Come on. 100 rand. Never mind, we'll take it. Charanarvana Prabhu, you're smiling there. 1,000 rand. Thank you. Lord Kadesh Prabhu? 500. Okay, 500. Vaikuntanath Prabhu, you're coming all the way from Vaikuntha. You have to do something, actually. 1,000. Okay. Vishwambara, you're sustaining the whole universe, actually. 500. Okay. Sudama Prabhu, you put your name down. 500. Okay. Kamsa Mahaprabhu, the person who killed Kamsa, actually. How much? 1,000 rand. Thank you. So please remember, devotees, that you know that the more books we distribute, the more Srila Prabhupada's mercy is being given out.
Sorry, devotees. There's now that you've all, most of you have pledged 1,000 rand. So let's make it easier for you now, right? You know your friends, relatives amongst the community within. So now, as a collective, you can now donate or buy books for 1,000 rand to distribute as a collective, so not on your own. So Prabhu will coordinate that now as a collective. Can you get together and now buy those books? Thank you.
Oh, okay. So what Braj Kishore Prabhu and Tarun Baladev Prabhu is saying, can we put teams together, actually? So I volunteered to take one team here at the temple. Madhumangal Prabhu already has his team. But with the Shamaduti Prabhu and the other devotees like it is. Anybody else want to form one team? To go out and distribute Srila Prabhupada's books? No? Damodar? Huh? So okay, Damodar Prabhu said he'll get the Tuesday Namahata involved. So that's good, actually, get it is. Tulsi Mataji, we think we get the Tongat Namahata involved? And then Sankarshan Prabhu, we think we get the Verlam Namahata involved? So like this we can do more. So we got 3 Namahatas, 4 Namahatas, well, yeah, 3, Wood Phoenix, like it is. And myself as one team, actually. If anybody else wants to volunteer to set up a team, we're happy to assist you wherever you want. Radha Charan Mataji, come on. You know. So for those of you that don't know Radha Charan Mataji, she lived in the temple for many years. And she was one of the biggest big book distributors that we had, actually. Including BTGs, actually. So she has to take up the challenge again. Okay? On the spot. Thank you. All right, so thank you all very much. I appreciate that. I have a few more things that actually, you know, they say that the month of Damodar, it was Lord Krishna giving his mercy to you, right? Agreed? How many people agree? Damodar month, Kartik month means that Lord Krishna is showering his mercy on you. Yes or no? My job is to take your money away from you, actually. So during the month of Kartik, every day there will be a program at the temple. And we've come up with a figure for Prashadam on a daily basis of 1,500 rands. So we would really appreciate if you would take care of that and you'll be able to do that. So remember, this is Vaishnav Seva, actually. By sponsoring a day, you will be doing some seva for the Vaishnavas that come to the temple to offer lamp every day. And if you can, you could please see myself or Priyadashni Mataji sitting somewhere there. Oh, Jalangi Maharaj, I don't see. I think they're packing prasad at the moment, like it is. You can see one of them, and then they'll be able to help you, actually. Also, just to make sure that the mercy of the Lord is more accessible during this month, normally we only have one take care of Jagannath for the day. For the month of Kartik, we are allowing 2. So if you want to take care of the Lord because you wanted an opportunity to do that, for this month of Kartik only, we are allowing 2 take cares of Jagannath on a daily basis, actually. So if you can and if you'd like to participate in those things, then please see me or see any of the devotees that are involved in management, and then they will help you through this process, actually. Just some obstacles on our path for the next couple of weeks. The fireworks people are here, so that means we have no place to take prasadam beside the tent that we have outside. So today's prasadam will be pre-packed for you, so when you leave, you can take your prasad and you can go home. You don't have to try and sit in the cold marquee and take prasad like that it is, actually. And this, we'll try and do this for today's program and for Govardhan Puja. But every night, and for the Sunday programs, the marquee is available and we will be using that to serve prasadam, actually. But big programs where there's multiple devotees, where we won't be able to manage with the amount of the crowd that comes, we want to make that facility available to you so you don't have to take your prasadam here. We'll pre-pack it and then you can take it away home actually. And then lastly, still have 5 minutes actually. Lastly, if anybody would like to sing Damodar Rastikam for this month of Kartik, please let me know before you run away today, because we're making a list of that devotees that want to sing, and then we can add your name onto the list as well actually. Prabhu, you want to sing? 500 for books? Thank you very much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Okay, so thank you very much. I have a question. Please help me to answer this. We can do one of two things. We can have Gaura Arati first, and then after Gaura Arati we'll offer lamps. But bearing in mind that some of our devotees live in Tongat and Belito and Vedlam and they think that the road is going to get washed away, we could start to sing Damodar Rastikam as soon as the altar opens at 7 o'clock. And then we can offer our lamps while the Arati is going on, so that will help you to get home earlier and probably safer as well. Is that okay? Which option? First option, second option? Second option, okay. So thank you. Hare Krishna. We have a little kirtan now, and then as soon as the altar opens, we'll sing Damodar Rastikam, and then we'll serve prasadam after that actually. And if anybody would like, the 2024 calendars are available at the back. They are on sale for 30 rands each. If you'd like to buy them, and if you didn't qualify for a gift of one of those 1,000 or 500 rand packs, then you could do that actually. Hare Krishna. Okay. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Those who have taken the 500, 1,000 rand, this one they can take. Put the lights off. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Don't make it eat the cake now. You're not eating cake. Well. Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Joy. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Lord Ganesh, put that light on. Oi. Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Baladev, Jaya Subhadra, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Subhadra, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Baladev, Jai Subhadra, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Baladev, Jaya Subhadra, Jaya Nitai Gaura Sundar, Nitai Gaura Sundar, Nitai Gaura Sundar, Nitai Gaura Sundar, Gaura Sundar. Jaya Nitai, Gaura Sundar Nitai, Gaura Sundar, Gaura Sundar. Jaya Nitai, Gaura Sundar Nitai, Gaura Sundar, Gaura Sundar. Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada. Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani ki, Shri Nitai Gaur Sundar ki, Shri Giriraj Govardhan ki, Shri Yasoda Damodar ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Nitai Gopramanande. If you could please put the Kartik or Damodar Rastik up on the screen, we can read that first. So dear devotees, we'll read the meaning or the translation of the song first, and then we'll try and sing it, right? To the Supreme Lord, whose form is an embodiment of eternal existence, knowledge and bliss, whose shark-shaped earrings are swinging to and fro, who is beautifully shining in the divine realm of Gokul, who due to the offense of breaking the pot of yogurt that his mother was churning into butter, and then stealing the butter that was kept hanging from a swing, is quickly running from the wooden grinding mortar in fear of Mother Yasoda, but who has been caught from behind by her who ran after him with greater speed. To that Supreme Lord, Shri Damodar, I offer my humble obeisances. Seeing the whipping stick in his mother's hand, he is crying and rubbing his eyes again and again with his two lotus hands. His eyes are filled with fear, and the necklace of pearls around his neck, which is marked with 3 lines like a conch shell, is shaking because of his quick breathing due to crying. To this Supreme Lord, Shri Damodar, whose belly is bound not with ropes but with his mother's pure love, I offer my humble obeisances. By such childhood pastimes as this, he is drowning the inhabitants of Gokul in pools of ecstasy, and is revealing to those devotees absorbed in knowledge of his supreme majesty and opulence that he is only conquered by devotees whose pure love is imbued with intimacy and is free from all conceptions of awe and reverence. With great love, I again offer my obeisances to Lord Damodar hundreds and hundreds of times. O Lord, although you are able to give all kinds of benedictions, I do not pray to you for the boon of impersonal liberation, nor the highest liberation of eternal life in Vaikuntha, nor any other boon which may be obtained by executing the 9 processes of bhakti. O Lord, I simply wish that this form of yours as Bal Gopal in Vrindavan may ever be manifest in my heart. For what is the use to me of any other boon beside this? O Lord, your lotus face, which is encircled by locks of soft black hair, tinged with red, is kissed again and again by Mother Yasoda, and your lips are reddish like the bimba fruit. May this beautiful vision of your lotus face be ever manifest in my heart. Thousands and thousands of other benedictions are of no use to me. O Supreme Godhead, I offer my obeisances unto you. O Damodar, O Ananta, O Vishnu, O Master, O my Lord, be pleased upon me. For showering your glance of mercy upon me, deliver this poor ignorant fool who is immersed in an ocean of worldly sorrows and become visible to my eyes. O Lord Damodar, just as the 2 sons of Kuvera, Manigriva and Nala Kuvera, were delivered from the curse of Narada and made into great devotees by you in your form as a baby, tied with a rope to a wooden grinding mortar. In the same way, please give to me your own Prema Bhakti. I only long for this and have no desire for any kind of liberation. O Lord Damodar, I first of all offer my obeisances to the brilliant effulgent rope which binds your belly. I then offer my obeisances to your belly, which is the abode of the entire universe. I humbly bow down to your most beloved Srimati Radharani, and I offer all obeisances to you, the Supreme Lord, who displays unlimited pastime. Shri Radha Damodar ki, Shri Yasoda Damodar ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. So we will sing, and then after we finish singing, we will offer lamps at the end of the song. The idea is that you should meditate on the words of the pastime because they're very inspiring and they're very enthusing for all our consciousness. So in that way, hopefully we can try and get into the mood of this month of Kartik actually. Namam Ishvaram Sachidananda Rupam Lasad Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Namam Ishvaram Sachidananda Rupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Namam Ishvaram Sachidananda Rupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Namam Ishvaram Sachidananda Rupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Yasoda Biyo Lokaladavamanam Param Bristam Mantatadudutya Gopya Yasoda Biyo Lokaladavamana Param Bristam Mantatadudutya Gopya Yasoda Biyo Lokaladavamana Param Bristam Mantatadudutya Gopya Yasoda Biyo Lokaladavamanam Param Bristam Mantatadudutya Gopya Namam Ishvaram Sachidananda Rupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Namam Ishvaram Sachidananda Rupam Lasat kundalam gokule brajamanam Rudham tamuhu netra yugman mimjantam Karam boga jugmena santakanetram Rudham tamuhu netra yugman mimjantam Karam boga jugmena santakanetram Muhu swasakam patri rekanta kanta Sita gravam damodaram bhakti badam Muhu swasakam patri rekanta kanta Sita gravam damodaram bhakti badam Namam Ishvaram Sachidananda Rupam Lasad Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Namam Ishvaram Sachidananda Rupam Lasad Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Itri Drikswali Labi Ananda Kunde Swagosham Nimai Jantam Makyapayantam Itri Drikswali Labi Ananda Kunde Swagosham Nimai Jantam Makyapayantam Tadiye shija jesu bhakta jitatvam Puna pramatastam satta vritti bande Tadiye shija jesu bhakta jitatvam Puna pramatastam satta vritti bande Namam Ishvaram Sachidananda Rupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Namam Ishvaram Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Varam deva moksham na moksha badimba Nachanam vrene hamba disadapi ya Varam deva moksham na moksha badimba Nachanam vrene hamba disadapi ya Idam tava punatha gopala balam Sadam manasa virastam kimanye Idam tava gopala balam Sadam manasa virastam kimanye Namam Ishvaram Sachidananda Rupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Namam Ishvaram Sachidananda Rupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Idam tamukam bojam anantanilai Vitam kuntailai snigdai rakjasya gopya Muhdam tamukam bojam anantanilai Vitam kuntailai snigdai rakjasya gopya Muhu sumbitam bimba raktadaram me Manasavirastam malam lakshalabhe Muhu sumbitam bimba raktadaram me Manasa virastam malam lakshalabhe Namam Hishwadam Sachidananda Rupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Namam Hishwadam Sachidananda Rupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Namo Deva Damodarananta Vishnu Prasida Prabho Dukha Jalad Bhimaknam Namo Deva Damodarananta Vishnu Prasida Prabho Dukha Jalad Bhimaknam Kripa Dristi Vishyati Dinam Bhatanu Grihana Shamamacna Me Dakshidishya Kripa Dristi Vishyati Dinam Bhatanu Grihana Shamamacna Me Dakshidishya Namam Ishwaram Sachidananta Rupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Namam Ishwaram Sachidananta Rupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Kuvera mojo bhada muche vayatva Tvayam uchito bhakti bhajo krito cha Kuverat mojo bhada yatva Tvayam uchito bhakti bhajo krito cha Tata prema bhaktim swakam me prayacha Namoksha graho mesti damodarera Tata prema bhaktim swakam me prayacha Namoksha graho mesti damodarera Namam Ishwaram Sachidananda Rupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Namam Ishwaram Sachidananda Rupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Namaste Studamne Spuradipti Damne Tvadiyo Yo Rayatya Vishwasya Damne Namaste Studamne Spuradipti Damne Tvadiyo Yo Rayatya Vishwasya Damne Namo Radhikaya Tadiya Priyaya Namo Nantalilaya Devaya Tubhyam Namo Radhikaya Tadiya Priyaya Namo Nantalilaya Devaya Tubhyam Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ramo Ramo Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo Hare Ramo 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo Hare Ramo 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo Hare Ramo 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare. Tell him put the volume louder on this mic. Hare Ramo 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ramo 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ramo 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ramo 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 Hare Hare. Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ramo 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ramo 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ramo 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare. Nitya Go Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo. Nitya Go Hari Bo, Nitya Go Hari Bo. Jai Radha Damodar Radha Damodar Radhe. 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 Jai Radha Madan Mohan Radha Madan Mohan Radhe. Jai Radha Madan Mohan Radha Madan Mohan Radhe. Jai Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Radhe. Jai Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Radhe. Jai Radha Gopinath Radha Gopinath Radhe. Jai Radha Gopinath Radha Gopinath Radhe. Jai Radha Gokulananda Radha Gokulananda Radhe. Jai Radha Gokulananda Radha Gokulananda Radhe. Jai Radha Ramana Radha Ramana Radhe. Jai Radha Ramana Radha Ramana Radhe. Jai Radha Banki Bihari Radha Banki Bihari Radhe. Jai Radha Banki Bihari Radha Banki Bihari Radhe. Jai Radha Sham Sundar Radha Sham Sundar Radhe. Jai Radha Sham Sundar Radha Sham Sundar Radhe. Jai Radhe Sham Radhe Sham Radhe Sham. Jai Radhe Sham Radhe Sham Radhe Sham Radhe Sham. Jai Radhe Jai Radhe Sham Jai Radhe Sham Radhe Sham. Jai Radhe Jai Radhe Sham Jai Radhe Sham. Jai Radhe Sham Jai Radhe Sham Radhe Sham. Jai Radhe Jai Radhe Sham Jai Radhe Sham Radhe Sham. Jai Radhe Jai Radhe Sham Jai Radhe Sham Radhe Sham. Jai Radhe Jai Radhe Jai Radhe Jai Radhe Jai Shri Radhe Jai Radhe जय राधे जय राधे जय श्री राधे जय कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम जय जय कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम जय जय गौरा निताय गौरा निताय गौरा निताय जय गौरा जय जय गौरा निताय गौरा निताय गौरा निताय जय गौरा निताय जय गौरा निताय गौरा निताय गौरा निताय जय गौरा जय निताय गौर सुंदर निताय गौर सुंदर जय निताय गौर सुंदर निताय गौर सुंदर जय प्रभु पद प्रभु पद प्रभु पद प्रभु पद जय जय प्रभु पद प्रभु पद प्रभु पद जय प्रभु पद जय प्रभु पद प्रभु पद प्रभु पद जय प्रभु पद प्रभुपाद 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 जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद निताय गौर हरि बो हरि बो हरि बो निताय गौर हरि बो निताय गौर हरि बो हरि बो हरि बो गौर हरि बो निताय गौर हरि बो हरि बो हरि बो श्री श्री राधा दामोदर के श्री श्री यशोदा दामोदर के श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की श्री श्री निताय गौर सुंदर की श्री कृष्ण बलराम की श्री श्री राधा श्याम सुंदर की जय जय श्री राधे श्याम।